Joining me now, former Secret Service agent, Dr. Melanie Burkholder. Melanie, so great to see you. So this new information that's coming out, we know that there are constant threats. What potentially makes this threat focused on Iran and the former president, what potentially makes this one more credible?
Well, I think it's, and Nichole, thanks for having me. It's good to be with you. I do think it's relative to what Evan just reported out with Soleimani's death. This would be retaliation in their eyes. And this is not a new threat. It probably is just a expounded threat. So maybe more intelligence has come through so that they can evaluate. The Secret Service is constantly receiving threats, and we have a whole entire arm called Protective Intelligence that investigates threats to the president. And so we don't really need to second guess this. He already has been shot. So they're going to do, out of immense caution, they're going to add more resources for the former president.
And, that makes so much sense. We don't need to second guess it. He already has been shot at. In this reporting, Evan talked about it as well, that U.S. authorities obtained this intelligence from a human source in, quote, recent weeks, and in turn increased Trump's level of protection. But yet we saw what happened Saturday. So, Melanie, what does that tell you, and what needs to change going forward?
Right. There was a failure Saturday, obviously, and while the Secret Service is ultimately responsible because it was their site and their protectee, the communication between the counterparts and the Secret Service either broke down or did not get relayed. And I'm so happy that there's going to be an investigation into this so that we get to the bottom of what went wrong so we don't have that happen again. We just can't do that. Our one goal, our one mission is to protect that package. And if we fail on that, we failed. And so that's just not an acceptable reality. We have to do better. And I just wanted to say, relative to the intelligence receiving from a human source, that tells me that they're not just hearing chatter on the internet, or that, NSA is not just hearing chatter, that a human person actually knows something. And so that is way more credible than just, random chatter that we might find.
Yeah, certainly makes sense. How important, Melanie, is it going to be to determine the motive of the deceased shooter, of Thomas Crooks? And what happens if it is never determined?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question, Nichole, because we don't have a whole lot of information. All we know is that he didn't show up to work. He told his boss he had something going on. His parents were looking for him, but we don't know why they were looking for him. Was it because he didn't go to work? I don't know. Those are many questions are still going to be asked relative to this investigation. Motive at this point, it doesn't. We hope that it's discovered, right, during the course of the investigation, that you can put the pieces together. Some have suggested that perhaps because he was bullied as a child, that perhaps he wanted to do this to say, hey, look at me. And that kind of goes in line with the explosives that he had in the vehicle, so that if he could detonate those explosives after the assassination attempt, then he could create a distraction to get away and then go back to those folks that bullied him and say, look, I did this. And so that could be a motive there, but I think it's really early to sort of try to put the pieces together at this point, Nichole.
Yeah. And we know, my last question for you, Melanie, we know Donald Trump is going to do what Donald Trump wants to do, but should the former president going forward consider changing the way he campaigns? I mean, are his days of doing these large outdoor rallies potentially over, or do you think that they will just be executed in a different way?
I think with the formidable determination that he rose and out of that assassination attempt, and 48 hours later was at the RNC, I don't believe we are going to have him stray from the way he wants to run his campaign. It produces and presents special challenges, I admit that, but I don't think that they're going to be able to convince him to do something that has been very successful for him.
All right. Well, Dr. Burkholder, thank you so much for your time. Certainly appreciate it, as always.
Thanks, Nichole.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.